Good evening, my dear friends. Tonight I am going to tell you something that may shock you. Something that contradicts almost everything you've been taught about manifestation. Stop manifesting. Stop trying to manifest. Stop working to manifest. Stop struggling to bring your desires into being. Because the very act of trying to manifest is the energy that keeps your desires at a distance. I can see the confusion on your faces. But Neville, you're thinking, isn't that why we're here? To learn how to manifest, to bring our desires into reality. And that is precisely the problem. As long as you are trying to manifest something, as long as you believe you must bring it into reality, you are affirming that it is not already real. You are declaring with every effort that you do not have it. And consciousness can only create from the state you occupy. Tonight I will show you what you should be doing instead of manifesting. And I promise you, when you understand this distinction, when you grasp this subtle but profound shift, everything will change. Let me explain what is wrong with the entire concept of manifesting as most people understand it. Can you say, I am manifesting money? What are you actually declaring? You are saying that money exists somewhere outside of you, and you must use certain techniques to pull it toward you, to make it appear in your reality. When you say, I am manifesting love, you are affirming that love is absent from your life, and you must do something to create it or attract it. When you say, I am manifesting healing, you are confirming that you are currently sick, and you must manifest health. Do you see the problem? The very language of manifestation keeps you in the state of not having. It keeps you in the position of seeking rather than possessing. It keeps you focused on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And consciousness creates from where you are, not from where you want to be. If you are in the state of trying to manifest, consciousness creates more of that state, more trying, more seeking, more not having. This is why people can spend years trying to manifest the same desires. They visualize, they affirm, they do technique after technique. But nothing changes, because they are approaching it from the wrong state of consciousness. They are trying to manifest instead of being the manifestation. So if you should stop trying to manifest, what should you do instead? The answer is simple, powerful, and completely different. Assume. Do not try to manifest wealth. Assume you are wealthy. Do not try to manifest love. Assume you are loved. Do not try to manifest success. Assume you are successful. This is not a subtle distinction. This is a complete reversal of the entire approach. Manifesting is an action you take to create something. Assuming is a state you occupy because it is already created. Manifesting implies distance between you and your desire. Assuming collapses that distance entirely. Manifesting is effort. Assuming is rest. Think about something you already have in your life. Something so natural and normal that you never think about it. Perhaps your ability to read, your name, the fact that you live where you live. Do you try to manifest these things? Do you use techniques to bring them into reality? No. You simply assume they are yours. You take them for granted. They are so much a part of your accepted reality that you never question them. This is the state you must bring to your desires. Not the energy of trying to manifest them, but the peaceful assumption that they are already yours. Now let me explain why assumption is so much more powerful than trying to manifest. When you assume something is true, you think from it rather than about it. You no longer stand outside your desire looking at it, trying to bring it to you. You stand inside your desire looking out at the world from that position. A person who is trying to manifest money thinks about money constantly. They focus on it, visualize it, work techniques to attract it. But they are always thinking about money, which means they are separate from it. A person who assumes wealth thinks from wealth. They make decisions from the consciousness of having money. They speak from abundance. They move through their day with the ease that comes from financial security. They are not thinking about wealth. They are thinking from wealth. This shift from thinking about to thinking from is the difference between years of effort with no results and instant manifestation. Let me share something with you. When I teach people to assume their desires are fulfilled, they often protest, "But Neville, I don't feel wealthy. I don't feel loved. I don't feel successful. How can I assume something I don't feel?" And I tell them the feeling follows the assumption, not the other way around. You do not wait to feel wealthy before you assume wealth. You assume wealth, and the feeling of wealth naturally follows. This is because assumption is a mental position, and feeling is the natural result of that position. When you truly assume something, when you take it as your starting point, the corresponding feeling must arise. But most people try to generate the feeling first, hoping that will manifest the thing. This is backwards. Assume first, occupy the state. The feeling will follow, and the manifestation will follow the feeling. So how do you actually do this? How do you stop manifesting and start assuming? You must make a fundamental shift in your self-concept. You must stop seeing yourself as someone who is trying to get something and start seeing yourself as someone who already has it. Every morning when you wake up, before you do anything else, ask yourself, who am I today? And the answer must be, I am the person who already has my desire. Not I am working toward it. Not I am manifesting it. But I am it. I have it. It is already mine. Then you must live your entire day from this assumption. Every decision you make it from the consciousness of already having. Every word you speak it from the position of possession. Every thought you think it from the state of fulfillment. This is not pretending. This is not fake it till you make it. This is occupying a state of consciousness and refusing to vacate that state regardless of what your senses report. Your senses will tell you that you do not have your desire. They will present evidence. They will remind you of your current circumstances. But you must remain loyal to your assumption, not to your senses. The senses report the past. Your assumption creates the future. If you let the senses dictate your assumption, you will continue creating more of the same past. But if you maintain your assumption despite the senses, you will create a new future. I remember teaching this to a woman who had been trying to manifest a specific house for over a year. She had done every technique. She had visualized, affirmed, created vision boards. Nothing had worked. I said to her, stop trying to manifest the house. Assume you already live in it. But I don't live in it, she protested. How can I assume something that isn't true? It is true in consciousness, I replied. And consciousness is the only reality that matters. The physical world is simply consciousness made visible. Change your consciousness, and the physical must follow. I taught her to stop all techniques, all efforts to manifest. Instead, she was to live in the assumption that she already owned and lived in the house. When she thought about home, she thought of that house. When she made decisions, she made them as someone who lived there. When she imagined her future, she saw herself in that house as a simple, natural fact. Within 6 weeks, a series of unexpected circumstances made the house available to her at a price she could afford. But notice, she did not manifest it through effort. She assumed it, and reality conformed to her assumption. Here is something beautiful that happens when you stop trying to manifest and start assuming. You finally rest. Manifesting is exhausting. It requires constant effort, constant vigilance, constant doing. You must visualize every day. You must affirm. You must do techniques. You must monitor your thoughts. You must check for signs. It is a full-time job of trying to bring something into being. But assumption is rest. When you truly assume something is already yours, you can relax. You can stop striving. You can cease all the frantic doing. Think about it. If you truly owned a beautiful home, would you spend your days visualizing it, affirming it, trying to manifest it? No. You would simply live in it. You would take it for granted as a natural part of your life. This is the rest I speak of. The rest that comes from accepting your desire as already fulfilled in consciousness. This does not mean you become passive or stop taking action in the world. It means your actions come from the state of already having, not from the desperate need to make something happen. Actions that come from assumption are inspired, natural, effortless. They feel right. They energize you. They align with your desire because they flow from the consciousness of already possessing it. But actions that come from trying to manifest are forced, anxious, desperate. They drain you. They push against reality rather than flowing with it. Let me give you the ultimate test to know whether you are assuming or merely trying to manifest. When you think about your desire, does it feel natural or does it feel like something you are trying to create? If it feels natural, ordinary, simple, a given fact of your life, then you are assuming. If it feels exciting, important, something you are working toward, then you are still in the state of manifesting, of trying to bring it to you. The goal is naturalness, the feeling of course I have this, the sense that it would be strange not to have it. When you reach this state of naturalness about your desire, manifestation is no longer a question. It is not a matter of if, but simply a matter of time for the physical world to catch up with the reality already established in consciousness. A man came to me who wanted a particular job. He had been trying to manifest it for months. He visualized the interview, the offer letter, the celebration, but nothing happened. I asked him, when you imagine having this job, how does it feel? He said, it feels exciting, it feels amazing, like all my dreams coming true. There is your problem, I told him. You are still in the state of wanting it, of being excited about getting it. You need to reach the state where having this job feels completely normal, natural, expected. I taught him to imagine not the moment of getting the job, but a moment 6 months after having the job. An ordinary Tuesday at work. Nothing special. Just him doing his job, it being completely normal. When he could feel that naturalness, when the job felt as ordinary as his current situation, that is when it manifested. Within 2 weeks, he had the offer. Now you may be wondering, if I stop trying to manifest, what happens to all the techniques I have learned? The visualization, the affirmations, the scripting, the gratitude practices. Here is the truth. Techniques are tools to help you occupy a state. They are not the goal. They are the means. If visualization helps you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, then use it. But use it to enter the state, not to create the manifestation. Once you have assumed the state, once you feel the naturalness of having, you can stop the technique. If affirmations help you maintain your assumption throughout the day, then use them. But understand that you are not using them to manifest. You are using them to remind yourself of what you have already assumed to be true. The technique is the ladder. The assumption is the roof. Once you have climbed to the roof, you no longer need the ladder. Do not spend your life on the ladder, climbing up and down. Stand on the roof. Live in the state. Many people become addicted to techniques. They feel they must visualize every day or their desire will not manifest. They feel they must affirm constantly or they will lose their manifestation. This is still the consciousness of manifesting, of trying to make something happen. When you assume, you can let go of the techniques. You can rest in the knowledge that it is already done in consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality that creates. Let me share with you the ultimate secret. The truth that underlies everything I teach. You are not manifesting anything. You have never manifested anything, and you will never manifest anything. Manifestation implies creating something new, bringing something into existence that was not there before. But this is impossible. Everything already exists. All possibilities, all outcomes, all realities exist right now in consciousness. You are not creating. You are selecting. You are not manifesting. You are assuming. When you assume a state, you are not bringing that state into existence. You are selecting which already existing state you will experience. You are choosing which channel to tune into, which reality to occupy. The wealthy version of you already exists. The loved version of you already exists. The successful, healthy, fulfilled version of you already exists. Right now in consciousness. Your job is not to create this version. Your job is to assume it, to occupy it, to be it. And when you occupy a state fully, when you assume it completely, The physical world must reflect that state because the physical world is simply consciousness made visible. This is why I tell you to stop manifesting, because manifesting implies effort to create. But you are not creating. You are simply choosing which of the infinite already created possibilities you will experience. Tonight I want you to make a shift. A simple shift that will change everything. Stop trying to manifest your desires. Stop doing techniques to bring them to you. Stop working to make them real. Instead, assume they are already real. Assume they are already yours. Assume you already are who you want to be. And then live from that assumption. Think from it, speak from it, feel from it, decide from it. When you wake up tomorrow, do not ask, what can I do today to manifest my desire? Ask instead, who am I today? What is already true about me? And the answer is, I am the person who already has my desire. It is already mine. I already am who I wanted to be. Then go about your day from that state, not seeking, not trying, not manifesting, but being, having, living as the person who already has what they desire. This is not wishful thinking. This is not denial of reality. This is understanding that consciousness is the only reality. And whatever state you assume in consciousness must manifest in experience. Stop manifesting. Start assuming. This is the secret. This is the way. This is the only thing you need to do. Assume your desire is already fulfilled. Occupy that state. Refuse to vacate it. And watch as the entire world rearranges itself to confirm what you have assumed to be true. You are not the manifester. You are the assumer. You are not creating reality. You are selecting which reality to experience by the state you choose to occupy. Choose now. Assume now. Be now who you wish to be. Have now what you wish to have. And rest in the knowledge that in consciousness, where all creation takes place, it is already done. Thank you. And good evening. As always, thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of consciousness. Remember, you are not here by accident. You are here because your soul is ready for this truth. Take these teachings and let them transform not just your mind, but your entire reality. Until we meet again in consciousness, keep assuming your greatness and living from the end of your desires. This is Best of Lectures, and I'll see you in the next video.